What is up, everybody? I hope that y'all are having a great Monday so far. It is Monday evening, 4:44 p.m. 4:44, look at that. But wanted to get on here, do your guys' market update for you guys. Let's get into it. So today we are at about 82 right now. It is in the evening. Today was definitely a little bit hotter than the last week or two, but I'm sure that those of y'all that are up north might like a little bit of the warmer weather. But we've been 85, 85, 86 tomorrow, and then the rest of the week we're going to get a little bit cool, and then at the beginning of next week it's going to be very similar to this. Just like to do this for you guys to give you guys a good idea of what the weather's like here. I'm sure up north you guys are starting to get some cool chilly weather. Not 100%. It hasn't been super cold down here yet, but definitely bearable. It's still on the cooler side, not like super hot in the 90s or anything, but we're definitely getting to that nice winter weather that we love here. Moving along, mortgage rates. This is actually a very what's the word I'm looking for? A good sign this week. So the 10-year mortgage rates are dropping, as well as the bond market. Sorry, I'm looking over at my screen and it seems like I'm lagging. I want to make sure I'm not dropping frames for you guys or anything. Are we good? Testing. All right, cool. But yeah, as you guys can see, we have this little curl right here. So we've been looking at it for the past couple weeks. They had priced in these mortgage rates dropping about 2 months back. About a month ago, we had another kind of bottom point, and then we had a little bit of a recovery. Ever since then, things have been trending back down. As we talk about for the most part every week, these mortgage rates are following the 10-year bond market. So this is basically what the government is issuing bonds at right now. So as you guys can see, the last couple days we have been trending down. So that's where we got that mortgage rate decrease from. As long as we continue in this down channel, mortgage rates are going to continue to decrease for the rest of the year, for the foreseeable future. Like I said, we've got this nice little trend line right here that we've been watching over the past couple weeks. So as we start to get further and further along this trend line, we're going to have lower and lower mortgage rates. We're going to be watching for any reversals as well. As this starts to come down towards this range, this 4%, 3.52%, we're going to want to look for any signs of a reversal, because that could signal an inverse head and shoulders, and then we start to trend back upwards. But none of us are really looking forward to that. So hopefully we don't do that, and we continue on this downtrend. It's good for both buyers and sellers. Now let's take a look at some of these stats. So as you guys can see in the title, pending sales are lagging, or not pending sales, closed sales are lagging. So as we've been talking about the last couple weeks, it's a really interesting market right now. Median sales price is kind of all over the place. We're having a snowbird market and then a regular market. The pending sales are up, new listings are up, but closed sales have been basically flat. So it's really interesting what's going on right now. There's either a lot of investors on the market that aren't closing, buyers are being picky, there's longer timelines for closings. Whatever the case is, something's definitely going on right now, as you guys will see when we get a little bit more into it. Median sales price right now this week, we're at $389,000. So this is technically about flat from last week, and then slightly down from the last time I did my update 2 weeks ago. But we're definitely up compared to the rest of the year. This is definitely that more snowbird kind of luxury high-end season. Closed sales, we have 152 closed sales. So this is where, like I've been mentioning, we've been very stagnant and, if anything, on a downtrend since the middle of the year, or the beginning of the year, March, April-ish. As we're going to check out in a minute, the pending sales and the new listings are trending up. So the fact that we have closed sales still just remaining flat is definitely really weird. Like I said, it could be potentially longer timelines of closing, investors that aren't closing, wholesalers, home sale contingencies, things like that. But definitely we've got 152 closed sales. And as we work our way over here to the new pending sales, there we go. This is finally starting to trend down, but as we can see over the last couple weeks, we've had a trend up. So since the pending sales are trending up, we were expecting to see that correspond in the actual closed sales. But when we go back here to the actual closed sales, we have not been seeing that. We've seen two totally different charts. We've seen an uptrend on the other one, and we've seen a downtrend on this one. So there's definitely some kind of something going on. Like I said, it's hard to pinpoint exactly what it is without knowing, every single contract that's on the market. But whether it's, maybe potentially people that have a house to sell in another area and they're putting in 60, 90-day closing timelines and we just still haven't seen those yet. It could also potentially be, like I said, a lot of investors or wholesalers that are entering contracts, either not able to close, they can't find the end buyer, whatever the case is, and they're not able to close, like I said, and then just the general average buyer with the amount of inventory on the market, where everything's kind of at, just them being a little bit more weary about everything. If anything pops up on inspections, probably asking for credits, repairs, that kind of thing. So we're definitely seeing a little bit of a split from those median, from the closed sales and the pending sales. Now let's go back to where we were. So we're on the closed sales. Now we're going to go through this one by one like we normally do. Percent of list price received, 96.8%. So that's actually pretty good this week. This definitely shows me that sellers are getting a lot more realistic with their pricing. So this is the percentage of the last listing price that they received on an offer. So we're at about 96.8%. So that's only about a 3% discount as opposed to, sorry guys. Hey, knock it off. So about a 3% discount here. Hold on, I'll be right back. Hey! Sorry, y'all, I'm back. All right, so as you guys can see, percent of list price received definitely seems like sellers are pricing a little bit more where they need to be instead of being unrealistic. Percent of original price received, we should see that correspond very similarly. So definitely seems like sellers from the beginning, they're pricing a little bit more realistically. And then obviously, where the actual listing price is, they're pricing a little more realistically. So the original price is the first price that they list at. List price is after all reductions, drops, that kind of thing. So moving along, percent above list price. This will be an interesting one to check out. This is going up a little bit as well. So maybe with some of these new listings being better priced, maybe people are even potentially underpricing properties a little bit, trying to create, bidding wars, going highest and best. This could also potentially be, financing buyers having to pay a little bit extra to get some kickbacks, rate buy downs, closing costs, concessions, that kind of thing. Percentage of cash sales, this has been remaining above 30% the last couple weeks. So this is due to the snowbird market right now. So we're definitely seeing a lot of up north people who are coming down. They've, maybe sold their house up north for $1 million. They're coming down here with $500,000, buying a nice pool house, and, retiring. But a lot of the people that are coming down here do have cash at this time of the year. They're moving from out of the state, whether they sold a house, they've been saving their whole life, whatever. We do have a very, very high percentage of cash sales taking place in the winter markets. Days in escrow, this is going to be an interesting one to check out. So this is remaining relatively flat for the past year or so. So this is can help us determine what was going on with those sold to pending sales. So this is the average number of days when a property is under contract to when it closed. So 30 days is a pretty standard closing timeline, which is what this is showing right now. So the fact that we have that really, really high pending and the really lower sales definitely something weird is going on, for sure, because it seems like the average sale is taking place in 30 days. So there's probably a lot of houses going under contract right now that are getting relisted, and that aren't actually, going sold. List to close days. This will be an interesting one to check out as well. This is basically what we've been showing. This is going down, so this is actually showing me again with that percentage of list price received before. If you list, where you need to be at, you're going to close quicker. You're going to get more percentage of listing price as well. So seems like this is due to the snowbird markets, and then also, sellers being a little bit more realistic with their initial pricing. New listings. This will be an interesting one to check out. So 318. So we've been trending up with the new listings, very similar to the way that we've been trending up with the pending sales. But again, when we go back here to actual closed sales, it hasn't really corresponded. This has actually been trending down versus when you go to the new listings, this actually seems to be trending up. So we're looking at a couple different things right now. If you're a seller, seeing the new listings going up, seeing the solds going down, and seeing the pendings going up is definitely concerning. Like I said, a lot of those pendings I feel like personally are fake, or investors or wholesalers, or something's going on, because as we can see, they're not actually closing. So just because they're going under contract, they're not actually closing, and we've been seeing this for the last couple weeks. But the pending sales, the new pending sales even, has been consistently rising the last, ever since May. So definitely, something interesting is going on right now. But if you're a seller, you want to make sure the 3 P's that we always talk about: price, presentation, and promotion. Make sure you're priced right, you promote well, and you're presented the best way possible. That's going to ensure that you get the most money that you can in the quickest time possible. New pending sales, like we just checked out, this is going to be the new pending sales. New listings, days on market pending. Supply of inventory, this is going to be an interesting one to check out as well. So this is the weeks of inventory on the market. So we're just outside of a NAR balanced range right now. This is basically the total amount of available inventory divided by the amount of closed sales in a week. And this is how many weeks that it would take to clear everything out. Weekly. Absorption rate, this is basically the inverse of what we just checked out. So this is the percentage that your house has to sell, 3.2%. So we're definitely trending back into what NAR considers more of a balanced market range. But again, some of those other stats that we've been seeing, definitely, at least to me, on the ground level, are a little bit strange. Mortgage rates, we just checked those out. Those are definitely trending down, which is a good sign. But it at least seems like to me the new listings are going up. So if you're a buyer, you've got extra options right now. You also have some extra competition if you are going to be in that higher luxury end price point. You're going to be competing with the snowbirds, pool houses, luxury houses, golf access houses, that kind of good thing. If you're more in the general regular buyer pool, you're still going to have lots of opportunities for great purchase price, great concessions, closing costs, all that kind of fun stuff. And if you are a seller, you definitely want to, like I said, make sure you're hitting those 3 P's: price, presentation, promotion. From the beginning, you're going to want to make sure that everything is perfect at your house. People right now in this market are either looking for move-in ready or they're looking for a deal. And so if you don't want them to think that your house is a deal, you got to make it as, perfect as possible. So that's where we go through that presentation, the pricing, and the promotion. So that's our system that can get homes sold quickly and for the most money possible. But thank you guys all for watching. If you guys have any questions about what these stats mean for you in your specific scenario, whether you're a homeowner, want an updated home valuation, just curious, maybe your zip code, what the stats are like, or if you're a buyer, ready to see, how things are looking in this current market with the new interest rates, new prices, all that good stuff, feel free to reach out to us. We're here around the clock to help you. You can give us a call in our, I think that the number's in the description, 239-895-9383. My agents are here around the clock to assist you. You can also click the first link I don't know if I pinned it in the comment, but it's in the description somewhere. BradenMilner.com. You guys are able to book directly with me on my calendar. You can also visit our team website, themilnerteamfl.com. Learn a little bit more about us, our services, all that good stuff. We're here around the clock, like I said, to assist you guys, provide you guys with the most information possible so that you can make the best decision when the time comes. So again, thank you guys all for watching. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and we will see you all next week for our next market update. Also, if you guys missed it, be sure to check out the Moving to Cape Coral guide on the channel. It's about 90 minutes long of everything that you need to know about moving to the city. So should be a full comprehensive guide for you guys there. Shouldn't have any questions after watching it, but if you do, we're always here to help you guys. But again, thank you guys for watching this, and we'll be back next week for our next video. Stay tuned the rest of the week for some home tours, more fun stuff. So later, y'all.